Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on the topic of unifying retail, how Bluetooth Low Energy will shape tomorrow's stores. I'm Alex Baker. I'm a principal at Nordic Retail Hub based in Stockholm in the Nordics. And I'm also a Rethink Retail top retail expert. And today I have Tarik Filali, the EVP from VusionCloud, and also Kayla Myrhow from Bluetooth SIG. She's the Senior Product Marketing Manager. And the idea today is to try to navigate through this very interesting question and try to understand how we can discover this cutting-edge technology that Bluetooth and IoT management is within, because its effect and its possibilities within retail. So this webinar now aims to explore how we can use these technology to enhance customer experience, how we can add that strength into employee engagement, and of course, in the end, to drive sales, right? Tarik Filali, he's the EVP at VusionGroup, and he has over decades of experience within the organizations. And he has an extensive background within solution as a service-based system and within retail, and will add a lot of technical expertise to this conversation. And then we have Kayla from Bluetooth SIG. She's a professional serving as a senior product manager within the organization, and also within wealth of experience from the technology landscape. And her, I would guess, lenses would be through innovation and how this could help shaping the consumer within the store environment. So guys, without further ado, I'm thinking let's just jump straight into it. So if we start off with the kind of revolution that the industry is going through. Retail is going through a lot of different influences at the moment, especially when it comes to technology. Can you guys try to explain for an unfamiliar person what Bluetooth Low Energy is and its significance for the retail industry?
Bluetooth Low Energy is a wireless communication technology specifically optimized for low power consumption, which makes it ideal for applications where devices need to operate on small batteries for extended periods. And in the retail industry, Bluetooth Low Energy plays a significant role, particularly with the introduction of the Bluetooth Electronic Shelf Label Standard. This standardization has facilitated the development of scalable, low-power, secure electronic shelf label solutions, which meets the demands of large retailers for simple-to-deploy, interoperable, and future-proof technology.
Would you like to add on that?
Yeah, in fact, thank you, Kayla. Of course, the Bluetooth for us is not only a technology for us, it's really for us, we see it as an enabler for retail digitalization. So for us, the Bluetooth LE is a stepping stone to create a standard-based unified retail IoT, which different vendors and the different devices can communicate and consolidate data in one management platform. So this is how we see it, and this is for us, it will bring really the power of the standard. This is something I think our industry has been waiting for a long time, to have a real standard to really start really the power of bringing ESLs and bringing digitalization to the stores at scale now.
And it's a very interesting topic in the sense of standardization, right? So new technology comes, there's early adopters, everyone trying to implement a rollout, but then there's really not that good circumstances for the industry at scale to be able to use the technology because there's different solutions. So I guess when a standard is actually put in place, that's a good sign for retailers that now we can work with this on a more broad level, where now we can actually measure, now we can actually ask the suppliers or the different vendors and, be in the driver's seat, so to speak.
Absolutely, absolutely. At the VusionGroup, for us, it was really a strategic decision to move from a proprietary protocol to a standard protocol. Our belief is that this standardization will be as important as the Wi-Fi, for example. You see, now because of the Wi-Fi, we have a broad number of devices that have been created and technologies and devices have been created thanks to this standardization. And we believe that this standard, which is based on the Bluetooth Low Energy, is going to be having a huge effect on the retail industry for the IoT part, for democratizing and also making it becomes a mainstream to have more IoT devices into the stores.
But how would you then say, because one question that pops up is, how would you then say that Bluetooth is actually enabling this reshaping within retail when it comes to, for example, speed or efficiency, or even now today, a lot of companies are trying to navigate through the ESGs. Is there any benefits from implementing this? And if yes, how?
Yeah, we believe that from a pure technical standpoint, that really will reshape how the solution providers and retailers can envision and bring into store or a retail chain this digitalization. Like, if we talk, for example, about the speed, we know thanks to the data rate of Bluetooth, we can make the systems much more faster in terms of, for example, price updates, and also much more enabling real-time interactions with these devices. For example, making a LED, for example, flash for the picking or the restocking. This kind of actions that are today common for the ESL world can be even faster and more reliable thanks to the Bluetooth. Same with the efficiency when we're talking about the channel hopping, for example, and avoiding interference for a better performance. This is at the heart of the Bluetooth standard. It has been used by millions of devices. So bringing this to the ESL world is really important. And then for the ESG part, we can talk about two things. First, Bluetooth, low energy. So the efficiency in terms of power consumption is at the heart of the standard. And same with making this seamless integrations and seamless interoperability between devices using the same access point device. So this will make it less hardware in the store, but also less power used inside the store.
To add on to what Tarik was saying, Bluetooth Low Energy really does play a pivotal role in retail. It impacts speed and efficiency, but as well as those environmental, social, and governance considerations. Firstly, to add on to what Tarik was mentioning as well for the Bluetooth Low Energy, it really enables swift communication between those devices, which facilitates rapid updates of electronic shelf labels and real-time data transmission, which of course enhances operational speed and pricing updates, inventory management. But secondly, the Bluetooth electronic shelf standard enhances efficiency by promoting interoperability, flexibility, and reducing vendor lock-in for retailers, which enables them to choose products and solutions from various vendors without sacrificing compatibility or innovation. And moreover, the Bluetooth technology's economy of scale fosters competition, innovation, and faster product evolution. But lastly, by embracing Bluetooth-based electronic shelf label solutions, retailers can contribute to environmental sustainability by reducing paper waste that's associated with the traditional price tags that we see across stores and promoting energy efficiency practices that really do align with the global goals of responsible resource usage.
I mean, there was so many things there. I remember in the early days of digital signage and retailers implementing screens in store, the use case was how can we actually save on the print and the ink? And I think this is just a natural evolution of that. And I guess from the perspective you mentioned interoperability, and you mentioned like being able to create that ecosystem in store and not just having these silos based vendors. We're going to talk, of course, both from the consumer side, but also from the staff side. But if we start from the consumer side, how do you guys see that this technology actually can meet customer expectations and enhance the consumer experience?
Bluetooth Low Energy technology really enables retailers to meet those modern consumer expectations while also enhancing the shopping experience through personalization and convenience. With proximity marketing, personalized messages, promotions, also product recommendations. Those can all be delivered based on the shopper's location within the store, which of course enhances engagement and tailors that shopping experience. And additionally, features like contactless payments, interactive maps powered by Bluetooth Low Energy really do streamline checkout processes and improve in-store navigation, which aligns with consumers' preferences for seamless, hassle-free shopping.
We do believe that once combined and deployed with the right hardware, we believe a lot of new use cases that will make a real difference for staff and shoppers alike. I will mention maybe two use cases. For example, the main Bluetooth will be a main enabler for locationing, for example, but also bi-directional sensing in the store, which is a kind of a revolution for our system. That we're always cloud to store and never from the store to the cloud. So this bi-directional communication is very important. If we take a case, for example, of a shopper with his smartphone that is looking for a TV, for example, when he gets to a store, we know the location of this TV thanks to this BLE. And then we know with the smartphone, with the exact location of a person. So we know that there's a person waiting for 30 seconds in front of the TV. So imagine all the combinations and all the new solutions we can create between the retailer, the shopper, and the brands also to create this new solution. It can be couponing, it can be personalized pricing or promotions. So we can create really a new interactions in the store based on these new capabilities that the BLE is bringing.
Yeah, and I guess now, since the industry is screaming after understanding how everyone can build retail media capabilities, I mean, one of the most important now channels is, of course, in store. So any type of solution enabling retailers in store to both the understanding where the consumer is, collecting these physical footprints, I guess, collecting data, and to be able to cater that to brands. I mean, it sounds like this could also be one of those important components in that offering. Also, you mentioned something that I find quite interesting when it comes to pricing, right? So there is different studies, but that's quite a hard area to cover, especially if you have in the thousands of SKUs, right? And also if you want to, I think the study that I read now recently is on average, there's up to 7, 8, 9, 10% of wrong pricing in a store. And so especially for maybe not grocery stores, since we're there perhaps weekly, but stores that we visit not as frequently, that is a larger problem. And this could perhaps solve that friction.
Absolutely, sir. And this is one of at the heart of the discussions and the heart of the topics that we are discussing with some of the largest retailers in the world. I mean, how can I have 100% of price accuracy? It means that there's zero error in terms of pricing, but also how can I get to the maximum of price execution at the same time? There's always a trade-off today between the price accuracy and the price execution. What we have been testing at scale, we are talking about stores with more than 100,000 SKUs, that we can go at 100% of price accuracy and getting really, we're talking about 5 nines or 6 nines in terms of price execution. And this is what the reliability of based on a very standard, very used also and proven protocol brings also to the table. Plus with our platform that is making it also possible to make it end-to-end secure and end-to-end manageable at scale. But this is at the heart of the discussion for very large retailers.
Yeah, and I think it will definitely not decrease. It will probably increase a lot, right? Since the stores have to build these capabilities and the stores are becoming more connected. So on that topic of connectivity, of course, when we talk about IT and integration, and we talk about creating that seamless both experience for the consumer, but also that kind of unified platform or unified way of working internally. So what would you then say would be the impact from an employee perspective, meaning employee engagement, or how can we actually give employees that capability? And can we also see that this could help steer or drive customer loyalty?
Well, with integrating IoT devices powered by Bluetooth, the technology itself boosts those operational efficiencies and customer service, of course, by improving inventory management, as Tarik mentioned, and pricing, which then provides valuable customer insights, that optimizes store layouts and managing energy efficiency. But the impact of technology on employee engagement in retail, Bluetooth Low Energy powered IoT devices drive employee engagement and customer loyalty by providing that real-time inventory data and tools for better service. This, of course, will then boost productivity and job satisfaction across employees, while also delivering improved customer experiences, which furthers customer loyalty.
The work of an associate in retail is really hard. I mean, this is really a very hard job. and which suffers also from a lot of turnover. So this combination makes it really complicated. We believe at the VusionGroup that bringing this technology will make it less painful and more engaging by automating as maximum the routine task, let's say, and working on an environment where all these repeatable and the tasks can be supported by technology. For example, price automation. You see, this now becomes a commodity that instead of changing the price table in the whole store, we make it possible with automation to make the price automatically change. Same for promotions. But also we can help on the picking side, for example, with the LED, for example, because of the turnover, the knowledge of exactly where each product is in the store becomes more and more complex. So helping the store staff to go directly to the right product and increasing their productivity can help also in that side. We're thinking of also technologies like Captana with cameras also that are detecting out of stocks, for example. So this way we can make a task and list of tasks that are based on the most important tasks to do in the store based on our ROI, basically. To do, okay, then please go check for this out of stock of this product that is important, or do this and do this task. So we really believe that the technology can really bring or make it a bit easier for the staff in the store. That's our aim at the VusionGroup also.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's very clear, both you mentioned when it comes to inventory management or when it comes to actually enabling staff. I mean, some retailers until today, specifically within the grocery sector, they have in-store pickup. So the staff are actually running around to, cater for those online orders. So it could be a tool for staff as well on a daily basis. But I like the part of, if we're talking about unified retail, right? If we talk about how can we create an experience both internally and externally that is seamless. So when it comes internally, then, if we talk about the tech stack without being too technical here, like enabling vendors or solution providers to work in an ecosystem rather than, the previous everyone had closed systems. How do you think, or why do you think this is, there's no going back to the old way of working, and why it's so important to support this kind of unified framework?
The evolution of the number of digitalization in the store there's no go back. This is something that is all retailers we have seen around the world are digitalizing their stores. And this digitalization is based on IoT devices, because we need data from the store. We need to make the store and all the actions in the store data-based, okay? So we need to have actions. So the only way to get this data out of the store, make these decisions, is IoT devices. Now, the more IoT devices you bring to the store, the more complex it becomes, because each of these devices has not been made in mind to coexist with each other. This is a game changer that we switch to a standard, because all these devices has been made to work together at the same time. So you can have sensors, you can have cameras, you can have digital locks that are all working inside the same ecosystem, and all together you are sharing the same Bluetooth communication to the same access point. This way we have only one access point that can communicate with different devices at the same time. So this is at the heart of our strategy. And this is also where we created this VusionOX. This VusionOX for our company is the, you can see it as a cloud to edge layer, really. So it's a software bridge between the devices that we create in the store and the access point in index and the cloud. So this is a layer, of course, that is 100% compliant and compatible with the BLE environment. So basically what we are creating is like a channel, a secure channel from the cloud to the device, where data exchange bidirectionally is secure and scalable. So we are discussing about, at the scale of hundreds of thousands of devices, can really securely communicate and securely being activated in real time in the cloud. So this is what VusionGroup bring, and this is called VusionOX. Of course, while keeping the 100% compatibility, because this is the heart of it. If we are, the BLE is the heart of all our strategy from a protocol between the devices and the access points.
Well, there's more matters to this. I'm thinking if we talk from the perspectives of security or the challenges today within the retail industry on how to work with encryption and standards, etc. So how can this also address the challenges that the industry is going through in that kind of rough environment?
That is an important and very good question. Here at the Bluetooth SEG, we actually published a market research report in collaboration with ABI Technology surrounding electronic shelf labels, retail digitization, and Bluetooth technology. And what we identified was the reluctance amongst some retailers to adopt electronic shelf labels and for retail IoT technologies due to concerns about obsolescence, interoperability, security, and as well as complexity. But however, the security features of Bluetooth Electronic Shelf Standard, which was introduced in 2023 with Bluetooth Core Specification 5.4, we address these barriers effectively. So key features like periodic advertising with response and encrypted advertising data, those offer energy efficient, bidirectional communication and standardized secure broadcasting of data, which enhances the security in those digital retail environments. And this ensures also the integrity of the retail infrastructure, which mitigates risks associated with data transmission and, of course, unauthorized access.
Alex, you said, and also Kayla just said it's right. When we are dealing with pricing and other sensitive data like customer loyalty or even staff position, we cannot leave the security to the bare minimum. I mean, this is really key. So our approach is, either it's with our proprietary HF protocol or with the BLE communication, is to back up all the transaction from the edge to the store to the cloud with that end-to-end security with hardware and software encryption. In other words, we are building like a pipe. I mean, really, this is how we are doing. So it's a secure pipe from the device to the cloud and the cloud to the device where no one else can have access to this information, either from a radio or at the access point level. This is really an end-to-end security. And this is really the purpose of having this VusionOX added layer. So bringing this augmented security to the store and having a kind of peace of mind for the retailers.
Yeah, and once again, these cyber attacks are becoming more frequent. So not only from, of course, a business critical perspective and the checkout zones, etc., but also from, at least here in Europe, we have more of, GDPR, and we have more data protection rules that set some expectations on how do we actually secure this data. So I think this question it's very important, and it's very crucial, of course, depending on who in the organization that you're speaking to. So you guys have clearly been working with this, and I'm sure for our listeners, it would be very interesting to hear some of the lessons learned and some effective strategies for efficient onboarding, and how do we scale Bluetooth Low Energy technology in retail?
Scalability in retail is a must-have. Okay, so when deploying stores talking about stores with hundreds of thousands of EQUs, we cannot afford to have an issue while rolling these devices. So imagine when a device is moving around in a store, it should be seamless and easy to make it connect and make it available. So by the experience and the hands-on with working with leading retailers that have been deploying our system in the past years, we have identified that to make this ESL system scalable, the onboarding part performance is really key. So what is this onboarding? So the onboarding is the capability. This is a specific feature of the BLE. That means that the pairing between the IoT device and the home base access point, just like your phone headset with your phones. So basically, when you're pairing them, the pairing is done, then the communication can work. Now, pairing two devices is one thing. Pairing 100,000 devices at the same time, that's another pair. So this is what we have been doing at the VusionGroup based on the standards, which is based on the Bluetooth. This is where the VusionOX, and we have been able in real stores to make more than hundreds of thousands of devices, all being onboarded in less than 20 to 30 minutes. This is what we have been testing at scale in real store environments in the US, but also in other regions.
So for a retailer that is interested in kind of, understanding how this could work from a scalable perspective, other than what you mentioned, is there any clear, what would you recommend for them to do to be able to start with this without, having that internal friction of this is too big, this is not scalable? What would the takeaway be for an curious retailer that wants to get started?
Well, Tarik, I'll actually add on to what you've already mentioned. Effective strategies for efficient onboarding and scalability, specifically with Bluetooth Low Energy and retail, really does involve comprehensive planning that Tarik mentioned. Of course, standardization, which we both mentioned, but also modular deployment approaches. Retailers should prioritize Bluetooth interoperability through compatibility, through scalability, and of course, robust network architecture, while implementing those secure communication protocols and providing adequate training to support the staff to continue leveraging the benefits of Bluetooth in retail.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, there's other aspects like more technical, like dynamic grouping, queuing management that will make this process even faster, etc. But really, this onboarding is really extremely key for the process to make the system scale at the retail scale.
And once again, I guess in the end, we see now this shift from retailers understanding that it's not optional anymore to implement technology in store. It's a must, especially when it's attributed towards sales. So how can we maximize the capabilities in store for that friction-free customer journey? And for that friction-free, we spoke about this a little earlier before our call, that once again, today the consumer is much less patient and much more needy, right? So if they've finally gone to the store, they need to be served and there's no room for errors.
Yeah, they make an effort. They take their car or they take a train to get into a store. So they're expecting to have the best experience in the store, in fact, right?
So this section, I'm going to put you guys on the spot right now. So I want to get the human side of you guys. So I want you guys to share a personal store experience that you felt was spot on, and share a little bit more about why it was. And once again, it doesn't have to be related to technology, but I'm interested in understanding the dynamics of when does a store visit actually succeed?
I had an experience yesterday, last night even. I went to my wireless service provider, and I was recently traveling internationally, and I went to go ask questions about my bill and get the international plan removed because I am back home. I had a very poor experience with the automated chat system that that my cellular service provider offers to their customers, and I was very concerned that my bill was going to be much higher, that I didn't do it correctly, and there was no one to ask questions with. So this automation actually created an issue for me and created a lack of trust. So I went into the store, and not only were all of my questions answered within 30 seconds from a human being who was wonderful, they also sat down with me and looked for other ways for my bill to get lowered or other opportunities to optimize my data, the way that I use my phone. And that was an experience that, simply technology got in the way, but going into the store actually helped solve it and enhanced my experience and my trust with that company once I left the store.
I love it, Kayla. One could actually think that the next question I wanted to ask you, this intersection between humans and tech, but I'm going to wait with commenting that beautiful experience and then trying to get Tarik's experience.
Maybe my experience is a bit very simple. I was searching for let's say for the shoes, in fact. There was two possibilities. Either I buy it online and receive it in 1 or 2 hours or something like that. But just the fact that I can go to a local store that is searchable and where I can find it easily. I mean, making the fact that I can buy from a store online and go get it from a store directly, which is really at 5 minutes. This is for me an important experience. Making these stores that are physical stores also able to efficiently being as efficient for online picking, for example, inside the store as a warehouse is really important. And it's also important for me personally because making new buildings just only dedicated to create picking, while we have already these stores existing physically, I think we need first to focus on how can we make this local e-commerce a reality. I think this is very important. And for all of us as a human being also, that these stores becomes also easily searchable and also where we can make this picking efficient, that it can becomes also from a business perspective also good for them. So this is simple, but this is really my experience that I would love that we have more and more this local e-commerce that we can search from and buy from directly.
You're definitely on something, and I love that more and more retailers are actually implementing buy online, pick up in store, because in the end, as you said, it comes to what is the purpose of the physical store and what is the actual expectations from our consumer. It's not right for everyone, right? But we need to understand what the consumer is expecting of us, and we need to see, okay, what are we going to build in our stores that will cater to all those different needs? And once again, the topic we're discussing today is a great super strength or capability, I guess, in the physical store that could, as we also discussed today, add value to store staff, add value to the consumer. But also we scratched a little bit of it now when everyone, once again, is interested in understanding how to get the revenue from retail media, can also add value to brands and data. But if I may, once again, I love your experience, Kayla, to start with, because my last question was around the topic of, okay, so with new technology, there is an argument that, okay, what would happen to the humans? Are we becoming more and more, once again, AI driven? Or are we becoming less and less human also in the physical world? And I think your example actually highlights my personal belief as well, that technology is amazing, or it could be amazing as a tool, as a capability. But in the end, we humans, we long for human connection, and especially post-pandemic, our patients have become less, right? And we might go to the store less than before, but our expectations seems to be higher. So from that sense, I'm very happy that we discussed it. But final question then, what is your view on this balance between human and tech? Would we see that this enhances rather than replaces, or what are your thoughts?
This is a very important question. And I believe, and at the Bluetooth site, we truly believe that striking the right balance between Bluetooth low energy technology, any technology really, and human interaction in retail really involves integrating technology to enhance rather than to replace human connection. So emphasizing customer service as core value, staff should really utilize technology like Bluetooth as tools to better connect with customers and solicit feedback, to continually adapt and refine the balance between technology and human interaction, really for an optimal restore experience before, during, and after they leave the store.
At the VusionGroup, we really believe that the technology can't and won't replace the associate in the store. Like it will not replace the shoppers strolling through the aisle. So, but we think that it can drastically change how stores are operated and making them more connected, more efficient, and more data-driven. And this is all about the VusionCloud, this VusionOX, and to augment the Bluetooth standard. We really believe with these standards, we can bring more security, more scalability on all these IoT devices that are going to create tons of data. And at the end, the goal is to make the best ROI from the store, and that make the business of these stores more efficient. So this is our belief, but we are not thinking at any time that this technology will take out the stores associated or replace them. The other way around, we want to take the burden out of them, of all these tasks that are with not higher value, to make them more focused on the most critical thing. These are the shoppers and the products. I mean, this is our vision really at the VusionGroup.
Yeah, and I think on that topic, an example here from the Nordics and from Sweden, and we had the same conversation a few years ago when more and more retailers were implementing self-checkout, that will this then now replace store staff? And I guess that we've all seen at least parts of the world where we are still not as tech savvy as we wish, so we always ask for help when we check out regardless. There is staff still there, and I mean, just the use case of asking the price of things or asking where things are. Here we have actually a capability that can enable that and then give the store staff more pleasant interactions with us as consumers to have. And once again, I'm super happy to discuss this topic. Finally then, Tarik, if I as a retailer are interested in understanding who is this good for, is there any specific vertical within retail, or where can I learn more about this, what would you recommend?
Of course, you can have all the information about the VusionGroup on the VusionGroup website, which is vusion.com. Also, we are going to be on the consumer forum that is happening within the next month, and there will be a white paper which is more dedicated around the VusionOX and the Bluetooth and the BLE, which is to be in-depth for more in-depth technical discussions.
Very good, very good. And I love the fact that I was involved now because once again, Bluetooth was invented in Sweden many, many years ago. So on that sense, I'm very happy that we had this conversation. So thank you very much for spreading some of your knowledge. And I look forward to see how the industry will adapt this technology more and more and hopefully be engaged in conversations about this technology ahead. Thank you very much for joining today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Tarik.
Thank you, Kayla. Bye.